So the point is, there is more than one road to Lonavala. Hello and welcome to a new episode of You Started It with Daniel Fernandes. On today's podcast, I have two special guests. On my left, we have Amshula Prakash, who's an intellectual property rights lawyer. And on my right, we have Suresh Menon. You know who Suresh Menon is, don't you?
No intellectual.
Not intellectual.
Non-intellectual person.
Non-intellectual person. Welcome to the show, guys. Are you guys happy to be here?
Thanks, Danny. This is my first time on camera and I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for having
That
me
is so
on.
sweet. Oh, your first time. That's cool. We'll try and make this as comfortable as possible.
You better.
I'm as nervous as you are, actually, to be honest. This is my fourth time on this podcast. And Suresh, how's it feeling? This is those of you who are tuning in right now. We are recording this episode a day after the India-Pakistan Champions League finals. And if you follow Suresh on Twitter, you know that Suresh is a huge cricket fan. And you know there's a cricket match going on. If on your timeline you'll see, "Hey Raju, wicket dena." Amshula, do you watch cricket? Are you a fan?
Yes,
Did you
yes.
watch the finals last night?
In fact, I did, and I predicted pretty early on that India is going to lose.
You did? By how much?
I mean, not by the number of runs, but I just had a feeling.
Because I was doing the same thing. I was having a good run of predicting the outcome. So I predicted that it would be an India-Pakistan finals way before, which I got right. Then I predicted that India would bat second, which I got right. Then I predicted that we will get a wicket between the 21st and the 25th over, which I got right. And then I predicted that we'll chase around 350. They got to 348. 338. So that was slightly off on
Not
that
bad
one.
at all.
And then India started batting, and I stopped predicting after that. So my crystal ball has completely been damaged. But how do you guys feel about losing?
I have actually got very upset, and we had all gathered together to watch the match. And once they scored 338, there's no chance that we would win, even though we got a great batting side. So everyone started, sorry, so now we need to leave. Oh, I actually got to take my in-laws out for dinner. All excuses, and everyone went off. Nobody felt bad actually, because in the long run we defeated them once already in the tournament. So it's only fair that they get a chance to win. Mauka. So they got it, but it hurts.
Oh yeah, it hurts. I think I personally still had hope. I think when Hardik Pandya was batting, I'm like, we still have a chance. Like they might pull off a UV, Mohammad Kaif kind of partnership. And then Jadeja did what he did, and I was so furious. I said things that I cannot mention on this podcast right now, but it was, but when you think about it, like you said, in the bigger picture thing, I was happy Pakistan won because I was happy with the way they were celebrating and they brought their wives and their kids,
Sure, I think
They did that, huh?
They did that, yeah.
I switched off the TV much before that, but they did that. That's very strange. Now
it was
they'll still get brickbats for doing that.
Yeah.
अपनी बीवी को मैदान में ले आया.
But I think it's important. It was important yesterday for India to lose because if we have another match, we need to keep the drama going, right? If India wins everything, then people will be like, this.
I think we look forward to the next India-Pakistan match.
Yeah,
with
so we need
more
to keep the
excitement.
India-Pakistan drama going. So.
And also outside, I think it was an eye-opener because there were other victories yesterday. There were other sporting victories for India yesterday, which
Absolutely.
a lot of people don't know about. So India won a hockey match.
Badminton
We
championship.
won badminton
Indonesian
championship.
Open.
And
Did you watch it?
No. Because I was
Do you
too
know the
busy.
scores?
I was too busy telling Ravindra Jadeja what I think of his moment of, what is that new word? Brain fade. Moment of brain fade.
Yeah.
His
I
brain-
was too busy telling people that they need to watch hockey, but
You a hockey fan?
no, I'm not. I was busy telling
You're
people
just
that
telling
I,
people. You're
I
just
didn't
a
have
good
time to watch
messenger.
it.
Like,
Yeah,
guys, there's a hockey match going on.
But in the long run, thanks to Netflix, everything went off well. So
Yeah.
So you had an option to change over to something better.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you so much, Netflix.
We love you.
I'll send you my bank details for this plug. So, guys, what we do on the podcast, on every episode, I have two guests, and we discuss, each of us discuss an interesting social media interaction we had because the internet is an amazing place with such profound thoughts. And we'll discuss something from you, Suresh, something from you, Amshula, and something from me as well. And then we'll try and have fun while we are doing this.
Perfect.
Sounds exciting?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's do this. I'm sure you have a lot of stories to tell us, Suresh. I can't wait. Okay, so we'll start with Amshula. Amshula, you want to tell us what post you found interesting Just initially tell us what the post is, and then
Yeah,
we
this
have a
is
chat.
actually something a friend of mine posted on her timeline on Facebook. And it was to do with the Mira Rajput controversy of what she said that a lot of people perceive to be against working women. Let me read the comment out. So my friend says, guys, Mira Rajput is only 22 years old. She's so young. She'll learn as she grows. Don't put her down. Show some love and compassion. I chose this comment because I thought it was the best thing I read on the internet that day. Not to comment on the actual content of what Mira Rajput said, but just the perspective of how we need to stop shooting people down viciously like it happens on social media most times. And she said, Mira Rajput is 22 years old and we've all been there. We have said stupid things. We've done stupid things. Not to say that you need to condone something a celebrity does, but there's a way to do it. There's a way to engage, because by calling people names or by shutting their opinions down without having something constructive to say, or with the perspective of they're going to learn, they're young, it's very problematic, because you're just going to not open any conversations. You're just going to shut it down.
Correct.
And Mira Rajput got a lot of hate. She's a young mother, and I'm sure she had her own perspective of it. And while I don't agree with the content of what she said, I think it was perfectly okay for her to correct herself. I think Shahid gave...
there was some follow-up interview.
there was a follow-up interview of how it was from her personal perspective, and she might have worded it wrong, or she might have just had a bad day. And I think it's important to condone that and say, be a little kinder and say, okay, Mira, this wasn't right of you to say. Not call her names or say you're insensitive and you're a dumbass.
And also to give, I think just to give some context, what happened was Mira just had a baby recently, and she gave out an interview where she said that she wants to be a stay-at-home mom because I think the exact sentence was that I have a baby, not a puppy.
Yeah.
So I can't I need to give all love and attention she deserves. And there was a lot of people were like, oh, you think working women don't care enough about their children just as you do. You're not examining your privilege. And there was a lot of stuff that was said. And a lot of people say things like, shouldn't celebrities be more self-aware? Do they need to be?
Of course, they need to be. They need to be. Or at least they should have experienced something in life. Like personally, in my life, my mom used to be a working mother, right? So I always remember saying that I wish I had more time to spend with you all. I wish I didn't have to work. My mom used to say that, but that didn't mean that sometimes when you need to make two ends meet, both the parents are working. And the children do miss their parents, but whatever time we got, we made the best use of it. But it's I would say that not led a life which meant a person to go through things that a normal person would go through in life, meant that it became easier for a person like her to put up this message and say, hey, I'm looking after my baby. But yes, working women did get offended, and but as she rightly said, she's a kid, and it's her own personal opinion. So over here, everyone has become a judge. Everyone has started becoming judge dreads on Twitter, on social media nowadays, and they need to condone everyone for what they've done and
it's
lay out punishments, hang them. Come on, guys.
I think everyone who has any sort of presence on social media kind of now feels that every time something is said, that there needs to be a verdict on what is said,
immediately,
especially if it's a celebrity.
And it comes from a superiority complex of how you've never done anything wrong in your life, right? I mean, I'm sure all of us have a lot to learn. A lot of my opinions might still be really messed up. I wouldn't want someone to it becomes like a witch hunt on social media.
Right.
And if anything, if I were Mira Rajput, I'd just be like, okay, this is my perspective, and wouldn't even learn from, the way people are saying it.
And but what I find so funny is, why do we hang on to every word that celebrities say? I mean,
well, I do think celebrities have some sort of a higher social responsibility, because they have a massive follower base, and in a country like India, people tend to blindly follow what celebrities say. In that sense, yes, they do have a responsibility, but if they mess up, there's a way to approach the subject, there's a way to say something.
So which is what
I have a point here. Celebrities they say that they have got a responsibility, but I heard Mr. Bachchan on radio nowadays saying that darwaja band kar de and all that stuff. Please do not go outside and use the loo.
Yeah.
You use your own loo inside
Yeah.
houses, Swachh Bharat, but I don't see people practicing that.
Yeah.
We are still out on the roads
There are
doing
still
it.
people, like if you take a train and you pass by from Bandra to Mahim and you're passing by, you will see all sorts of sights and colors.
Well, it's on railway tracks also. So
On the railway tracks also, yeah.
I mean, I challenge how
Oh,
many
that's a
people-
game now. If you can finish shitting before the train hits you, you win.
Sometimes you just sit on the fast
Yeah.
track so that you just dump faster.
No, that's level 5. Level 5 is fast track pe hago. Beginner level pe then those tracks when no trains, I don't know what do you call that, but
Yeah,
wo khali
the
pada rehta hai.
yard wala tracks.
The yard wala
Yard
tracks,
wala
yeah.
tracks,
So you
yeah.
have people shitting there. That's beginner level. Then
Yeah.
people feel like, nahi yaar, savere और थोड़ा कुछ challenging करना है, so they move to the slow track. The ultimate challenge is a fast track.
Yeah.
And the all-time, तुम लोग का Champions League का पता है क्या है? The Champions League is that the train tracks that are going over the creek.
Yeah.
You put one foot on one track, foot on the other track, and then give it a shot.
Wow. And the long test matches would be the long distance trains ke track pe.
You've spent a lot of time thinking about this, haven't you?
I
Danny?
used to travel by train a lot, and then I started doing comedy.
Same here.
No, but jokes aside, I mean, you bring out a good point of celebrity influence on people, and Suresh, you also bring out a very good point about how I don't see the influence. Where is it happening? Why are they not listening to Amit Ji when he says कि भाई, बाहर मत हगो, अंदर हगो.
Matlab, it's
And-
keep it safe.
So, do celebrities really have influence, or do we just think they influence people?
I don't think so. I don't think I've bought any product that a celebrity has endorsed. I don't think none of us have done that. It's because of the experiences that we have with a particular product, we buy that. But now, because of internet, I had this argument with Jose many a time
Yeah.
that everyone has become a critic. So nothing can go past people who are there on Twitter and they're just waiting for somebody to make a wrong comment, right?
Yeah.
So earlier we used to have society aunties who knew exactly who is coming out of the gate and who is going inside and who is meeting whom. अरे उधर से आया फिर सुरेश गया वो लड़के से बात किया. No, everything was like sorted and there was no mobile phones that day, so communication was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But only on eyesight. So hearsay now, this is all hearsay basically, and we are tweeting some things which somebody just put an opinion up.
Yeah.
That itself is nobody wants to know your opinion.
Correct.
If you see when we come to my tweet, you'll see what the things are what are the things that really irritate me. So I've seen that people are waiting for a chance. Somebody has to mess up in that a particular day, and today I'm sure it will be Virat. Somebody told me in the morning, hey, listen, we should put a Virat photo and Anushka's photo. I said, why?
Yeah.
What does she
Oh
have
God,
to do?
not
What
that.
does she have to
Not
do with
again.
cricket at all? Such a brilliant actress. Please don't even do
Yeah.
that. That's all nonsense. So you see, but that's the way we are. That old story of the crab in a barrel, crabs in a barrel, and one
Yeah,
crab
each crab
trying
is
to
pulling
climb
the
out,
other
everybody's
one.
pulling him down. That's exactly the problem.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's something related only to India. I've seen it happen across the globe. So, human
Yeah,
beings,
yeah.
basically. Let's blame humans.
And is it something people do, Amshula, like as ripping a celebrity apart, especially over something silly that they say? Is this something they do to make themselves feel better about themselves? Is it like I enjoyed telling a celebrity off? Is that ease of access that I have?
I feel
I don't know.
it's this social fragment that exists and the differences that exist between classes in every society that forces a person to comment against somebody who's successful. Even, so we have seen that very often happening. We have seen that, and so easiest example to give would be you are in a fancy car and by mistake some biker comes and hits you from behind.
Yeah.
You are at fault.
Yeah.
Because you are the man with the big car. That's it.
Yeah.
So same thing on Twitter also. That's exactly what happens. It's
But
humans.
normally when somebody scratches my car, I ask them for money. So
But I
Yeah.
think it's also because in a country like India, especially with Bollywood, actors and superstars have larger than life personalities, right?
Yeah.
So people feel like, okay, these are not real people behind the screen. These are not people with emotions. These are just people who have so much success that it's okay to shit on them.
Yeah.
And I don't really think... we are here talking about conversations on Twitter and nuances of conversations on Twitter and Facebook. But when I talk about people who are influenced by what celebrities say, I'm talking about, the 1.3 billion people in
who are
India,
not
most of...
probably on Facebook.
Yeah, who are who are definitely not on Facebook and watching TV with like Mira Rajput saying something and nodding their heads in agreement just because it's coming from there. The people who actually shit on celebrities are slightly more privileged, who can have these opinions on Facebook and Twitter. But I'm saying as a celebrity, you have so much power in what you say, in influencing opinions, that there is some social responsibility, of course.
Okay, so basically we agree that influence exists on some level.
does.
Maybe not with us. Maybe I may not think, but fair to say that.
And I would also say this, that to be fair to Mira, she said it as a mother. Wants to spend more
I think
time
yeah,
with
she
the child.
meant it
That's
more on a very personal
level. You know,
that
it
we
came
say
across
this,
as that.
Sometimes,
Yeah, and I've said things sometimes and wished I worded it differently. But once you've said something, damage
gone.
is done.
Done.
And people
That's the
don't
problem.
allow you
the
to.
problem with this day and age is you don't have to say anything for something to be said about you. And okay, I can understand why something you may have said may have been taken out of context. But I'll tell you what I found the funniest in this whole statement she made was she compared a child to a puppy. And anybody who has raised a dog will know that taking care of a
harder.
puppy is
it's
crazy.
a similar
At least your baby like shits in its own diaper जो तूने बांध के दिया है ना. Your puppy, you have to guess where it has shat.
That's a damn good idea given me. Yeah? Puppy diapers.
Puppy diapers, yeah. Because if you have a puppy and you're raising a puppy, you have to wake up in the morning, follow your own smell, figure out where everything's done. It's quite hard.
Yeah.
And there is also this, I don't know if you guys have observed this, there's this whole mild battle brewing between people who have kids and people who have pets.
Yeah.
Because now there's a new generation of people who have pets as a substitute
For kids.
to having a child.
But it's quite annoying. It's
And-
quite annoying because many a time I go to my friend's house who has a pet and say, "Hey, how's your dog doing?" Don't call him a dog. He's my son.
Exhibit A, Danny and his
Then I have to say,
cats.
"Tommy, what are you doing to my leg?" You know that dog is like.
Your son is
humping my right leg right now, and jeans are looking strange. So can your son stop doing that?
Yeah, I fall into that. I fall into that trap as well. I mean, I call him Mike. I call
I
him
mean,
my
the-
cat.
the emotion is there.
I said the emotion is there.
Yeah.
And it is quite funny because when pet parents, that's a new thing also.
Wow.
When pet parents meet and you overhear a conversation between them about their pets, and if you don't know that they're talking about their pets, you'd assume they were talking about their children.
Yeah.
And it's funny. But at the same time, as a pet parent, I just want to say, I think it's I'm not saying I have pets because I don't want to at some point in time have kids. It's just that it's so much more economical, to just on so many levels to just have a pet because potty training, okay, with a puppy it takes
Ho
over.
jayega.
But with the cat, it's amazing. The cat just needs one instance to learn and then it's a pro after that. Like, can your child do that? Like, no.
And no need to pay some exorbitant school fees and all.
No school fees, no admission ka tension when they get a little older. They no back answering,
Ah, yeah.
and then they die.
Danny,
Which is-
that's because cats don't care. Cats don't care about you. Your child will grow up and take care of
But
you.
yeah.
Your cat
But coming
will
back to
just-
that, here's the thing. Okay, when you raise
That was wicked.
Yeah.
I like it.
some, they die, and you get new pets after that,
Yeah.
which is a great point. But the thing is, see, when you raise a human child and that human child becomes an adult, there's a 50-50 chance that he may either become a really nice person like you, or he may become an asshole like KRK. So you're taking a big risk. Like I was just thinking, if Hitler's parents had just adopted a cat in
Seriously, man. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I
Sure.
mean? And speaking of people's parents who should have adopted pets, Suresh, you were mentioning backstage or in the green room when you were hanging out that you had a lot of interesting tussles with the infamous KRK. Do you follow KRK, Amshula?
I'm not on Twitter. Or
That's
on-
why she's smiling so much. I was wondering
I
how she's
used to
so
be
happy.
in 2009 and I used to follow KRK. I mean, I'm embarrassed to admit this, but I used to find it quite funny because my intellectual thought and my growth as a person was also severely stunted back in 2009. And I'd be like, KRK, fun guy saying, what, hashtag 2 rupees.
2 rupee.
Well, by the way,
Yeah,
I am
but-
responsible for that comment of his. It was a show. He himself put out a video later on, so now it's cool to talk about it. So there's something we're doing, something for a Z award show function, and we were told that there's going to be a reality moment where Ali Asgar and me are going to give him a Golden Balti Award. And then the
For what?
discussion, Golden Balti Award.
Golden
You're
bucket.
an idiot.
Did he win the
Oh.
mime track championship?
Yeah, I think so.
Golden bucket.
So we all called together and we had given a discussion that hey, this will happen and also I just said that, why do you want to do this? You don't want to have a reality over there. So he said, no, we'll do it karke. And then the shot was going on, so surely we gave him the Golden Balti Award, and full drama happened over there. And he said, "Hey, nonsense, you 2 rupees people." And he insulted Ali and me, and then he pushed Ali, his man, and he pushed Ali. So that was a no-no. So those days we didn't know what happened. So anyway, we went back on stage and sort of really roasted him on what he did. Obviously those things were cut. News channels were, Ali Asghar, Suresh Menon ko kya ke bhadak gaye, gusse mein balti utha ke phek diya and all that stuff, blah blah. And then suddenly the chap releases a video saying that us din Suresh Menon ne mujhse aake kaha, itna tak kaha ki mujhe zameen pe patka ke marna. Now that got my goat. I said, boss, you are the one who came and said, let's do it nicely and all. And you're saying, oh, hitting. And I told, no hitting, no abuses, because then I'm not standing for that. Because I don't want to be a part of this crap. And then a war started. So then Tu Main Main, then he picked out some stand-up videos of mine, Abish Matthews' videos, and he said he's insulting actors, abusing.
The son of Abish.
Yeah, son of Abish, whereas
the irony in that
all the
statement.
Actors abusing, which I'm just trying to give them a human touch, So nobody, a lot of people understood that.
2 rupee people.
No, I didn't call them. I was doing mimicry of Mr. Bachchan perhaps abusing Sachin Tendulkar, which you never heard. I'm sure they must be in real life. Yeah, so you must watch that show again. Thank you, Abish. So what happened is he started picking out all those things and started having a Twitter war with me. So in the end, I really got upset with him. I said, listen, want to settle this? Settle like a man. Let's have a boxing match or something. So then it went on to more abuses. Then I said, okay, I don't want to know your names of all your relatives and your family right now. So thank you very much. I'm blocking. I blocked him. Then he WhatsApped me also saying, Suresh bhai, kya ho gaya? I said, sorry, I don't want to talk to you. Thank you very much. Bam. Out. And that's it. So then I realized on Twitter what I do right now. If somebody comes after me with abusive language or something which I don't even like, even sort of putting down my role in some of the more than 50 plus Hindi films that I've done, and somebody picks out some role or what nonsense, you're a bad actor or something, instead of responding, I just block them. That's it, out of my life. Because let's not have anything on cell phones which are negative. Because all these are energies, electrical energies, which could affect us. So why keep anything negative at all around you? Always be a positive person. So I even request Mr. Bachchan or any of these celebrities who have got a lot of people trolling you all, just block them. It's much more peaceful and there's no tension in life after that. Seriously. Like Jose has got nearly 1 million followers now. I had 2 million, but most of them I'm blocked. So
you're back to 1 million.
Not in 1 million. I'm some 60 grand plus, 60,000 plus. Yeah, that's it.
I mean, Jose mentioned that you blocked, like he told me to ask Suresh how many people he has blocked.
Yeah, I blocked. Not in millions, obviously. I'm just exaggerating. I'm not that popular on Twitter as people make it out to be. But but I do that because I just stopped taking negative things in my pocket with myself, because everything is on the phone. Let's not do it. Let's even tweet happy things. Let's tweet fun things. Let's not put down anybody. This place was meant to have a social interaction with people. Put out your opinion, but you can, as a funny man, it's your duty to try and sort of sugar it out and then put out a comment.
Yeah, but I just think social media has become such a vicious place. Like I was of the opinion, I'm still of the opinion that you should have a license to be on Twitter or Facebook.
That's at least, damn cool idea.
Yeah, and you should have a full examination. There should be an entrance exam first, and then a group discussion and all of that. And only then
you're allowed to come on
Twitter.
Because
Twitter started with that intention of being that place where everybody's give the power to so many people, and now it's just become power to potty, basically.
But coming back to what we were discussing before about Mira Rajput, I think I'm not a celebrity and I don't even have a Twitter account, so I'm not the right person to probably say, okay, why are we blocking these people? Because a lot of them might actually be amenable to change. Someone like Suresh or Danny talk to them and say, this is not right, or this is possibly another way of you thinking. They might take it seriously. Also because, when you direct message them or you talk to them one-on-one, the attitude is very different. And this is also something I've heard from a lot of my friends who have started engaging with people on a personal level and asking them where they're coming from.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody thinks what they say is fucked up, right? Because if they did, they wouldn't be saying it. So
correct.
It's a good exercise, I think. I'm not saying you guys have the responsibility to do it, but it's just a thought. Rather than blocking someone, engage in conversation with them and ask them.
She's fired the old man.
I'm enjoying this.
No, but it's easy for me to say it because, I don't deal with trolls every day like you do.
No, yeah, there were some comments which are so
Of
annoying
course.
that you actually, and they've got these, they don't have their DPs, which is just an egg. Okay, and they don't use their real names and all. So if you want to really comment on someone, be brave enough to put out your face out there and
Tell
then
us who
talk.
you
Why
are,
be a coward and just abuse someone's family, kids and all that? I've been threatened on Twitter also.
Sure, I guess if it's an extreme case where someone's abusive, block them by all means. But I'm just saying, in many cases, there's this new trend of how, I'm clearing up my Facebook friend list or my Twitter follower base because they have an opinion that's different from mine. And I think I don't agree to that because it's not about having diversity of opinion as much as the only way you can have any real change or get people to think the way that you think is to plant a seed of doubt in their mind that maybe their opinions are slightly messed up. Because if you go and say you're dumb, which is the easiest thing to do and the most tempting thing to do, they're just going to go back to their positions even stronger because they take it as an attack.
Is it easier to do that with friends than total strangers?
I'd say yes, but it also depends on how open the stranger is, of course. Because
because that's hard, man.
That's
hard,
And the kind of volumes you must be getting.
Oh, I think I managed to do that once, where a Pakistani follower sort of said something about Mr. Menon. I'm a big fan. How can you say like this about Pakistani actors? And it went on to a whole fight between Kashmir and how many soldiers we have lost and how many soldiers they have lost and blah blah. It became a big fight. So I told him ultimately we are fighting with each other on Twitter, while the soldiers, your soldiers and my soldiers, both are on the border fighting with each other. Ultimately, what is the solution for this? Not in you and me tweeting to each other and fighting about it.
Yeah.
Then he said, point taken. I said, that's it. So leave it. Let's have some peace on Twitter at least.
And then you blocked him.
Yes.
Do you block people, Danny?
Very few people. I think I don't know, maybe I don't have that many followers or enough, but
No, Amshula, I feel that, honestly, to coach these people on, as I told
It's
you before,
tiring,
because they're on Twitter just to take on someone.
Just to antagonize.
They want to antagonize people, and I've seen tweets to Mr. Bachchan which are so insulting, and he has been very decent, replying back to them saying I can take good with the bad and all that stuff.
Wow.
At his
That's
level,
impressive,
yeah, that's very impressive. But I realized I can't do that ever.
So
I just said I don't want to have this. There's so much of tension already in my head, and now try to think and try to get inside other guy's brain. No way, just block. It's the best thing to
Because
do.
with me, I found that a lot of my followers are actually quite smart. Like, so even if I get a point, like people who disagree with me, it's a smartish kind of a point of disagreement. I get abused when I get retweeted. So someone discalls me for the first time, then it's but I blocked very few. I prefer to just ignore. I feel nice when people
But it's harder to block friends, right? I mean, I have a lot of friends who have opinions that are so far from mine, and it's an everyday exercise to even try to keep the friendship alive, because they're people different, they're nicer to you in real life and they do nice things for you, they're good friends. But if they have an opinion, especially a political opinion that's so radically different from yours, it's very hard to see the good in them after that. Because but I mean, it's important to have a kind conversation where you can say, okay, maybe you're wrong, and like get them to think about it when they're going to sleep at night, right? Because the further you engage them, the further you say, okay, but what about these liberal values? They're just going to be like, no, what about cows? And then there's no end to that.
End to it, yeah.
I've actually never hung out with somebody who has a different political
No,
leaning.
Danny.
Have I?
I'm sure, but you might not have.
In my inner circle, I don't know.
My inner circle calls me
Maybe-
right wing, so I also.
They think you're right wing.
Yeah, and also.
Are you right wing?
I am a bit of a right wing for sure, but right wing in the sense I support what is right. So I'm right wing in that sense.
Yeah, I'm left wing. I support whatever's left.
Left behind. Yeah.
I support whatever's left.
See, it's very amusing to see all those conversations happening again on social media platforms. Wherein I feel the movement has to be started right from the time where you vote for a person and going on. how you support or you don't support.
Correct.
Us talking about it and good government, bad government. So as of now, everyone on Twitter feels there is no government. Some of them feel there's a good government. Some of them feel nonsense. Correct. So I would say let the change start coming from within ourselves first, and then we see how it goes. And also, I always feel very peeved when the budget comes through all these governments that I don't see any talk about population control.
Yeah.
Never. That's never there. Those are vote banks coming up. All the parties are happy.
They need these people to live. No?
Exactly. So that is very strange. And then we talk about the economical disparity and all that stuff. It's only happening because the population is increasing. So and the unrest is growing.
Yeah.
And the anger is growing.
And industry and infrastructure is not supporting that entire growth. It's supporting just a few classes.
And I feel we are in one of the best phases of our country where the youth have actually.
Yeah, this is the youngest our population has ever been. This is the most financially independent our population has ever been.
Intelligent, well-read people like
people like Amshula.
Seriously.
But I think to come to a compromise, okay, fair enough. Let's talk to people as and when we can without just calling them dumb.
Okay, I'll try and speak to them. I promise you the next one I won't block.
One person.
I'll try.
One person a week, provided they have a DP.
Yeah.
So
provided they have let's not talk to eggs.
If you want Suresh Menon to reply to your post, make sure you have a DP, your name, your location. Then we'll engage.
Address.
Address. And then we'll see what's left and what's right. Okay,
peaceful
Suresh,
guy.
Yeah. So let's move on to your comment.
Yeah.
So this is the one that you've sent me. You want to take us through quickly a little background and then read the actual.
See, I love reading Mumbai Mirror. So the second page of Mumbai Mirror is always have these strange. See now again this have and have nots ka fight. By the way, let me tell you, I've been there. I'm still there rather. So I saw this interesting article of a lady, socialite obviously, and I forget her name.
Gal Gadot.
Yeah,
Gal Gadot.
The actress.
Right,
Okay, so somebody said lookalikes, and they just put that picture together. It's a small article. So I realized that high social auntie wanted an article. So it's obviously planted there. Who the hell cares about you, man? I've been reading newspaper to see what's happening with GST, what's happening with any bank loans, if possible. Has Vijay Mallya been arrested? And suddenly I saw this. I burst out laughing. So
but on Mumbai Mirror.
In Mumbai Mirror.
But to be fair,
they're meant for that.
Come with interesting.
Yeah. They actually why I read Mumbai Mirror is because some of the articles are really brilliant. The insights are superb. You know. So, but as I told you, there's no malice in this. But I just quite enjoyed it and said, "Who the hell cares?" Right. So then somebody replied to me also. Ekdam alike hai. 2 eyes, 2 eyebrows, 2 ears, 1 nose, 1 mouth. You just need a reason to mull down Mumbai Mirror.
I think he meant
mull, to think about it. What is similar?
I think he meant pull, but he had a Donald Trump moment.
But I quite like that. That is similar. 2 eyes.
Is this the first Mumbai Mirror Bhakt? Like this guy who commented. Do you think like he just scrolls through Twitter to see if anyone said anything bad about Mumbai Mirror?
I thought it
could be the first. I mean, this is a cute comment.
I think he meant pull down.
Yeah, he meant pull down for sure. But see, I'm pretty sure he was. He tweeted this while he was reading the Mumbai Mirror, and you read the Mumbai Mirror where. When in the loop, while you're making potty,
special office.
Special office. So instead of pressing P, he pressed M. Hota hai yaar, galdi.
Granted.
But that's what I'm saying. I love the Mirror. Like the Mumbai Mirror is the first thing I reach out to when I wake up in the morning, and then I have to go straight to the loop. And I don't think that I'm speaking just for myself here. Let's not be like, I don't know what he's talking about.
I also, coming back to that article, I think Mumbai Mirror and Bombay Times are 2 things that you normally read in the loop.
Yeah, Bombay Times I use for round 2.
Correct. So Mira's article had actually come in Bombay Times. So
it's actually an upgrade from Mumbai Mirror. Yeah. But I've seen an article in Bangalore Times, actually, like the equivalent of Bombay Times, where there was like a half-page story on how I think Katrina Kaif hurt her toe.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, come on, there's demonetization going on. We have enough to...
Toe.
Yeah, it's about how she hurt her toe. I'm like, okay, she hurt her toe. It's a sad day for like Katrina Kaif, but there's no need to give it coverage. In half the newspaper.
If she used a new 2,000 rupee note as a bandage to tie it around her toe, then it would be news.
Should have been trending.
Do you think she paid Mumbai Mirror money for that piece?
I do not know. I see some random articles in Mumbai Mirror in the same page, which is the special one is to the right-hand side corner of page 2.
The blind articles where you
the
have to
blind-
guess
you-
कौन है ये.
The well-known
Oh, I love
director, producer,
Oh, yeah,
Ask
and
This
his
Expert
marriage
is in Mumbai Mirror, right?
Ask the Sexpert, but this is better than Ask the Sexpert. So this
Yeah,
is
because, yeah, they
if
give
you
you
haven't
clues and
seen it,
all.
Mumbai Mirror page 2 bottom right hand side has something called a blind item where they publish a full gossip. Like it's loaded with gossip, an article loaded with gossip. Like this well-known producer who released a movie that grossed 500 crores having an affair with
Clues are like spot
a
on.
famous, yeah, the clues are so spot on. Having an affair with a famous yesteryear's actor's daughter, and yesteryear's actor's daughter
Whose movie released
yesterday,
Which didn't do so
and
well.
Who didn't do so well, and this actor was also blocked by Suresh Menon. And they give you all these clues, and it's packed with gossip. Those are my favorite. And sometimes when I can't guess, I just send a screenshot to my girlfriend. She's an entertainment reporter. And
Oh,
she
lovely.
comes back with the answers.
Hey, please let me also know
I
next
have
time.
so much gossip, Suresh. I have so much Bollywood gossip. Have you seen Wonder Woman?
No, I wasn't able to see Wonder Woman.
Obviously, why?
No, because I didn't get time. I was really tied up, but I do mean to watch it.
Oh, you
as soon as
must. You
possible.
must.
watch it.
I watched Wonder Woman, and the first 5 minutes, I was literally like, this is so good. The subliminal messaging in the movie is amazing. Every female character in the movie is strong. Every female character is strong, and there are scenes that that completely flip the story arc of most superhero films. There's a scene where the male protagonist is losing his life, and he gets rescued by Wonder Woman. A very dramatic shot. All her superhero shots.
Women
brilliant.
will rescue the world ultimately.
I-
I'm telling you. And they are the only answers.
If they're allowed to.
If they are allowed to, yeah, mic
they will.
drop. But and the movie is a huge hit. Okay, everyone's finally happy that we have a
Female
superhero
superhero.
movie with a female lead, and it's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a bloody good movie. But there's a sense of dissonance that's also coming out from various quarters of the world, largely from the Middle East, because a lot of people don't know that Gal Gadot is also a former Israeli soldier.
Yes.
Oh,
And
wow.
yes, so she's a Zionist sympathizer, and she at some point in time also tweeted out encouraging messages to her
Congratulatory
messages actually to her friends who were in the Israeli army while they were massacring men, women, and children in Gaza. So there's this whole debate that is slowly reaching its peak about art versus politics and stuff like that. So there are people who feel that okay, it's just a movie.
Yeah.
It's just a movie. Let her be, so Wonder Woman. And then there are people who are like, no, but this actor who you've cast has taken, a
Yes.
stand that's not necessarily politically friendly or not right. And there are people who've lost family members, and now they're saying that the only superhero film that we have with the female lead that's done right is with a woman who stands for all this.
Oh.
So there's this whole debate. And so, Amshula, what do you think about?
Well, I think to idolize someone who is so obviously complicit in massive human rights violations is a massive problem. And you might say, oh, for my daughter in India, Wonder Woman is a huge hero, but what about for women and children in Gaza? You might say, oh, Gaza is a small strip of land somewhere that I don't care about. But if you're saying she's the champion of feminism and anti-sexism in the superhero world, then it has to be someone who holds human rights up at large. I don't think you can separate politics from art, and I honestly believe all art is political. And if the politics of your art is bad, then your art is bad as well. I think it's very wrong to position Gal as
As a good girl.
as a good guy. Yeah, and people might have arguments of saying how you can separate the movie of what is happening or from her personal life, but people are also saying she is the person bringing about change. And I don't think you can separate one human right from the other. Feminism, you can't say I'm a feminist, but I kill people and I send congratulatory messages to bombings in Gaza against
Where
women and
innocent
children. I
women
don't
and
think
children
that's
have
how it
died.
works. I think you have to look at human rights as a more holistic thing.
I think the funniest part is every discussion about this movie end this whole political thing. Even after this podcast will end with people going, but she's so hot, yeah. That's what's
Yeah, then
happening.
that will be around 90% of all the males.
90% of...
Because the other 10% are almost dying. So,
Well, yeah, so I think...
so just for this, I won't see this film.
You're not going to see the film?
No.
You're not going to watch the film?
I probably will watch it because I also want to know.
No. I'm saying it because you can't watch it. Next week, Tubelight is coming. Salman's film, Wonder Woman. There's no Wonder Woman existing
Yeah,
after
now
that.
it's Wonder Man.
The two lights of this country.
It's a
I'm
very
going to go
different
watch
kind
it.
of film. You'll watch the film and then you'll start wondering. ये आदमी करता कैसा है?
एक बार जो मैंने ट्यूबलाइट ऑन कर दी मैं CFL भी इस्तेमाल नहीं करता.
Okay, let's move on to the last comment, which is mine. This was tweeted by somebody after last night's match. I think I believe he's a Pakistani journalist, and he tweeted something that I agreed with. He said, India should now end its boycott of Pakistan cricket. People of both countries are mad about cricket. Let them enjoy. India and Pakistan players should play in the IPL and the PSL. And I said 100%, I agree 100%, to which someone replied, out of the many replies that I got, this was, I do not agree. No bilateral tours until Dawood and Hafiz Saeed are given back. Big cricket fan. Decent cricket fan who makes the right predictions, unlike me. I want to see India and Pakistan play more often. I want to see Pakistan players in the IPL.
I got a very different take on this. This is where my right-wing afflictions do come out. Honestly, because I'll be very honest with you that twice I bore the brunt of a riot.
Okay.
Just missed being killed. Also in the bomb blast that happened in 1993. This was way back in 92 or December 6th when I was working with Times of India those days.
Okay.
And we were in a train and the train stopped at Masjid. Now, Babri Masjid was taken down in Uttar Pradesh, Ayodhya. This is Mumbai. For me, Mumbai is it's everything for me. You know, I speak better Marathi than I speak Malayalam also.
Okay.
And that day, suddenly the train started moving out of Masjid towards VT. Stones. You should hear the sound of stones hitting a train. That steel thing, thardana, and then the train stopped. And we didn't know what to do. Either sit inside and face the wrath of the mob fury over there, or just run down the tracks and start running for life. I still remember running. A lady fell in front of me. I lifted her and said, "Ma'am, you run in front. I'm behind. Mere ko lagaya. Just run. But just run towards VT because there were cops in VT station." We reached there. That was once. I couldn't understand why it happened there and why is it happening in Mumbai. What are the reasons? It became a sort of such a serious riot in 92, 93. It was so terribly devastating for me. I really didn't understand the whole need of going so crazy on that whole thing. And then the bomb blast happened. I know if you're talking about cricket, everyone has said that cricket and Bollywood have to merge and artists should be able to find some peace and resolve this whole situation in the border. It's not happening. There have been too many chances that's been given to Pakistan as a country, and it's continuing. Now, everyone knows for a fact that Mr. Ibrahim is there in Pakistan.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone knows for a fact that Javed Miandad's son got married to his daughter.
Yeah.
So why are we shying away from calling a spade a spade? That's where, yesterday, for example, when we won the toss, I would have loved to see us bat first and put up a big score, because an intelligent person inside me who has played cricket for college and has played gully cricket, forget college.
Yeah.
Who knows that when the opposition has got great bowlers, you don't chase. You stand there, bat first, try to put up a big score.
Yeah.
The chasing is anyways going to fail.
Yeah.
And that's what my intelligence told me. Similarly, when you come, then what's the need for cricket to come into to creating peace? Because it is not done. We have played cricket. We have gone there, played cricket in 2004. I was privileged to be doing commentary on Star News at that time.
Yeah.
I've seen all those things happening, but has these things stopped? In the border, no.
But I don't
Nothing
know.
has stopped. It's changed nothing. And if you ask me, Bollywood we are given more chances to Pakistani actors, actresses,
they have given to
singers.
you
We are
guys.
given them more chance. And you imagine a Sonu Nigam goes for a show over there. Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen.
But I'm looking
Our
at...
singers do not, for all that love, why is it not a exchange of culture then? It's only from one side. So it's a one-edged sword that I feel we should not be. I'm all for not playing cricket with Pakistan till we sort of resolve this whole Kashmir situation.
But I don't see how, if that's ever going to happen in our lifetime. Because the thing is, for political parties on both sides of the border to stay in power, they need to keep the Kashmir dispute
Absolutely.
going for as
Absolutely.
possible.
Absolutely.
So my whole stance is that I'm not looking at cricket as a means to bridge peace between these two countries. I'm just saying उनको खेलने दे, मेरे को अच्छा match देखने का है. Because there's no resolution to Kashmir, not in our lifetime. It's never going to happen. All I'm saying is why can't they play cricket? And if you're going to take a stand where you say that we should cut cricket ties with them, then we should also forfeit any match that we run where we run into Pakistan. On
like
an
you
ICC
should,
stage.
they should have done it yesterday.
वो क्यों नहीं किया? We should just forfeit. So whether if it's at the league stage, you lose your points. If it's a semi-final or a final, you forfeit the cup. So
That would've been
This
great
is
if
just to
someday.
prove a point. If they're playing them in London and just not doing bilateral tours, it's to prove a point. But if it's happening anyway, then what are you achieving? You're still playing with Pakistan.
This-
No, bilateral tours not happening means that if Indians do not go to play over there, they do not come over here. It's definitely a sort of an economic sanction on the country.
Yeah, of
You know,
some sort.
so
Because
some sort,
any
that's
tour, any cricket tour with India is a lot
Sure.
of money
Breaking
in
down.
terms of advertising and stuff. So yes,
Yeah.
so what's happening? What I feel is happening here with this whole decision is the Pakistani cricket board is definitely getting affected.
Yes.
They aren't getting too many tours. To make matters worse, when I think when Sri Lanka or England were there was some bomb blast. So now
Bombay.
when
So
England
they're
doesn't
not
want to go
playing
there,
over there anyways. They are playing in Dubai.
they are playing in other
Yeah.
places now. And my whole stance is that we aren't heading for peace. There's
We aren't. Surely we
people
aren't.
in
Because
power stay in power by making sure that the people who put them in power keep fighting amongst themselves. It's really as simple as that.
But having said that, a lot of the recent aggression has been from their end rather than from India.
Of course.
I think India
Hasn't it almost
always been that.
from
So
there?
that's one of the main reasons that where this angst has come in. I know people have survived the bomb blast. You know, they all know what it is to have felt fear at that time. You know,
Yeah.
seriously. So it's all crazy. There are people still suffering from those shards of glasses inside their body. I know
Correct.
a lot of people are still going through that Worli Naka blast. And so when you think of all those stuff and then especially this openness about a Pakistani cricketer affiliation with Dawood, it's like nobody's even commenting on it. Forget anything else.
Yeah, they're scared.
I've not seen Arnab talk about that on his show.
Arnab
For all
ki
his-
fati hue. There's no way. Arnab doesn't have. Who's going to call out the son-in-law of one of the biggest mobsters in the world?
Exactly.
No one's going to do that.
No
you
one is
know?
going to do that.
Amshula, do you think sport and politics can be separate? Or
Well, to be very honest, I haven't thought about
person,
it.
yeah, should a sports person have to pay the price for government policy or war crimes or insurgencies?
I don't think so. The thing is, where I want to differentiate it is when I was talking about Wonder Woman earlier, those are what I believe are universal values that we need to adhere to. This is more a question of what governments are doing and how governments are fighting
Yeah.
between themselves. So, on the face of it, it seems like saying no to us, still Dawood and Hafiz Saeed are given back doesn't make sense to me.
That's not a resolution. Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like I haven't given it enough thought, to be very honest.
Okay, so fair to summarize, I think, I'd love for them to play
Irrespective.
as irrespective, even if it's not a bilateral tournament.
Daniel, hi.
Let them play wherever, let them play in the IPL or whatever you feel otherwise, which is fair.
On the flip side,
Ah.
I don't mind Indian team having some rest at least. The cricket calendar actually is one of the most busiest cricket calendars
In the world, yeah,
amongst
yeah,
anybody else. Just IPL finished and 10 days time there was Champions Trophy.
And now the West
10 days
Indies,
later we
yeah.
are going to West Indies. So
Yeah.
come on, give the boys some rest
Give
at
them a
least.
break.
So one country less is okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Sri
I
Lanka
think-
के साथ भी झगड़ा करो.
I think either way, every 4 years or every 2 years now, I think we are going to have an India-Pakistan match by the looks of things, because both teams are pretty good. I mean, our Indian team is very good. The Pakistan team showed that they can be unpredictable and win. So they're going to have, whether we like it or not now, whether you like it or not, there'll be at least 2 matches.
Yes.
Whether I like it or not,
Yeah.
there'll be only 2 matches every 4 years.
And
But
if you see, strangely, I think 1991, this whole 1990, I think this Kashmir move, terrorism and all those things started over there.
Yeah.
Before that, 1989 was a much more peaceful. 89 it started, correct. 1988 and all them, very peaceful community out there. Nothing like this was happening.
Yeah.
It suddenly gotten destroyed.
Correct.
That peace in that beautiful place has just gotten destroyed. None of these things were there till 1988. There were whispers, there were talks, but not in this manner.
Correct.
And before that, we've been playing cricket with them at regular intervals. India's gone to Pakistan. Pakistan has come here. They had some great players whom we used to enjoy watching, like Zahir Abbas. None was a great batsman, bowlers, Imran Khan.
Amir Sohail.
Amir Sohail gave a lot of joy.
Yeah, the Bangalore game.
Yeah, Venkatesh Prasad.
Venkatesh Prasad.
But having seen all those stuff, yes, you would like to see some matches happening, but at this current situation, I would say no.
ठीक है, चलो. Let's block Pakistan from playing cricket
Suresh's
in
Twitter
India. Yeah. And it's also very poignant that Pakistan will not give us Dawood, England will not give us Vijay
Kohinoor
Mallya
diamond.
or Vijay Mallya.
Or Vijay Mallya. Yeah.
And no country wants to take KRK. So, so it's a win-lose for now.
Yeah.
But guys, thank you so much for being on my podcast. That was a
Thanks for
wrap of
having
the
us,
episode. I thoroughly enjoyed our
So did I.
intellectual discussion.
And some potty discussion
And
also
some
happened,
potty
yeah.
discussion. I think they should. I think the Mahim Track Championship is something.
I think
there's
superb.
कोई potential है वहाँ पे. Lot of branding opportunity. You can sell tickets on Book My Show. वैसे भी trains are just passing by. You know,
Yeah.
lot of, I think there's a good market there. Maybe somebody will pick it up. But that's all from me. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be out with a new episode next week. If you want just an audio version of this podcast, there's a link in the description below. You can download it, listen to it wherever you want. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please get the word out about this podcast. Share it on Facebook, Twitter, wherever you like. And until I see you again, this is Daniel Fernandes signing off. The trick to have a good time when you're in Lonavala is not to use Google Maps.